get like seriously injured. I don't believe it's not like they fell off the car and then like blew up, just like gore and body parts flying all over the place. But I'm just gonna play it safe. People do start falling off the car because they're just trying to get away from the madness that happened here. Obviously, this giveaway event went a little differently than Kai and his team anticipated. A few thousand people showed up here, which I don't think they thought would happen well. Kai had apparently advertised this as a huge giveaway, saying that they'd be giving away computers, PlayStation 5s, microphones, keyboards, webcams, gaming chairs, but at the end of the day, the only thing that was given away here was hands. Everyone was catching some fucking hands. There were quite a few videos of fights that were breaking out there, which of course only escalated shit popping off. So not only were vehicles damaged and windows blown out, but some other nearby places were destroyed, like food stands and things like that. So overall, it just got really out of hand really quickly, with so many people showing up for this giveaway. Apparently, the police department even activated a level response, which just sounds terrifying. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi film during an actual invasion event. That is just a horrifying term, a level 4 response. That's like some DEFCON 1 shit. So it's apparently their highest level of disaster response, and earlier they had activated a level 2 to handle crowds. So this sounds like they got the 6th star in GTA 5, basically. A fucking level 4 highest level disaster response. That sounds like it's usually just reserved for actual apocalyptic events. Like if an EMP detonated in New York or something and they're scrambling at a level 4. So this was a huge deal. And it seems that the police department is pulling no punches, because it seems like they are now charging Kai Cenat with at least 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Yes. The influence is charged. He's going to be charged with multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot, unlawful assembly, and a few other charges.
Yeah, they're not fucking around here. This was a level 4 interview response. They're not taking this as some kind of light, silly little mistake and oops-a-daisy moment that they can just move on from and forgive. They're going hard, saying that this was the incitement of a riot. Obviously, that wasn't the goal with the giveaway event here. Kai Cenat and Phantom wanted to do a giveaway event for their communities to come collect some cool shit from them and thank them for the support. It was like a pseudo meet and greet, as I understand it. And even though I believe this whole event came from a place of good intentions, unfortunately, that's just not how it played out today. And while you can't control everyone who goes to your event or anything like that, they do still bear some responsibility here. Because this was an unsanctioned event with no permits, it means they also didn't have a team in place to control the situation to ensure things don't get crazy. And the fact that they didn't anticipate that something like this could happen is a huge miscalculation. There are more miscalculations here today from them than there were on the math section of my SATs. This kind of thing happens a lot at sporting events, where a lot of people, after a big win, get excited, they get super hyped. So when they leave the venue and they're still super excited and hyped, they end up just like destroying things. And that's what happened today. A lot of people gathered in the same location, all really excited and really hyped, and things just got out of control because there wasn't any real planning beforehand to ensure that there were people there to keep things from getting nuts, to the point where even Kai and his team are driving away with people hanging off of their car, falling off. Like, shit was wild. So this is just a complete lack of planning, which led to a catastrophe, really. I'm honestly pretty shocked that this even happened, like the event itself even went on. I just can't believe no one on Kai's team thought for a single second that this might require a little more planning than they had given it. Like, no one thought for a second, like, hey, might want to pump the brakes on this. This isn't exactly the best idea. We'll probably want to put a little more effort into this and get, like, a security team in place, you know, just in case. I don't know how it actually got to this point where they went through with it without having, like, basic security in place or, like, permits or having someone to supply a team to help in case a situation arises. You should expect a huge turnout, especially when you're as successful as Kai and Phantom. Like, you should really expect a ton of people to be there. And some weirdos that were hanging off of their car. Like, I just don't know how it even got to this point where they went through with it without more and deeper planning put into it. But anyway, that's kind of where this story... Got a full belly, prepare yourself because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirting, the worst attempt at wooing a potential romantic interest I have ever seen. This is like playing a visual novel and then scaring away all of your potential love interests at once and getting the worst ending. Now, I'd like to give a bit of context here to the situation before we really dive into the meatballs from our spaghetti entree of cringe. A user on Twitter posted screenshots as well as videos from a random guy who had reached out to her on Facebook because he had seen her on a dating app. The two didn't even match, and I guess he must have assumed that it was some kind of glitch because they were destined to be lovers. It was fate that was pulling them together, but unfortunately technology had a malfunction, so he took matters into his own hands, tracked her down on Facebook, of which she had no connection to the dating app. She didn't connect any of her socials to the dating app, so he did some super sleuthing to find her on Facebook and reach out to her there to try and win her heart. And let's see how that went. Kelsey! I love that intro right there. It's straight out of Scary Movie, like that old commercial. What's up? He's coming at her like they're best friends from way back in the day. He then executes Order 66 and kills all potential for romance. He goes, I mean, okay, shit. Mayhaps that was a tad overly enthusiastic for a stranger danger message on a sunny Friday morning. There is so much quirk to the way that he texts that I'm getting uncomfortable. I can say with a high level of confidence that he is definitely in some kind of theater troupe because he is typing like he's acting out some kind of skit for a play. It's a little much here. My bad. Let's go with, I can explain. Fuck yeah. That works. It drops a couple of emojis and then one of these bad boys. How she didn't immediately fall in love with this man is beyond me. This is aggressive. And it's already creepy because it's a complete stranger who saw her on a dating app and then tracked her down in order to, you know, really directly communicate with her. So, let's go over where things went wrong here. I'll go ahead and get the playbook out like John Madden and say where everything fell apart for the offense. Basically, there is nothing that's even remotely salvageable from what he tried to do here. There is nothing more annoying than texting like you're talking to yourself during the text. Like when you say something like, Kelsey, I mean, oh wait, shit, mayhaps that was a tad too far on a stranger danger sunny Friday afternoon. Goodness gracious, how do I save this? Like, that is so fucking lame. That is shameful. That is just downright shameful. I am shocked he didn't drop like an asterisk nuzzles you, and then an asterisk, you there? Yeah, and then one of those emojis. So she said, sorry, do I know you? And then it reactivates this cringe protocol. He says, oh, hey, no, we don't know each other. Sincere apologies for this subterfuge. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Dropping subterfuge here in your creepy approach to a stranger. If you give me the tiniest bit of room, I'd be happy to explain. I reckon that sad explanation will bring laughs and smiles. P.S. Not trying to rope you... P.S. Not trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme to sell fancy Tupperware. Yet. He's trying very hard to be self-aware, and when he starts sending his voice memos to her, he reiterates 1,000 times like, this is weird, oh, you're probably going to think I'm weird, and then just keeps doing it. He sends so many voice messages that go for a long, long time. It's making my voice crack because of how fucking embarrassing it is. And you want to know the wildest part? I'm getting ahead of myself, and it's a spoiler. He has done this to multiple women, apparently. Other women have come forward after this tweet and all of this, the receipts here and all that went viral, with other women showing their interactions with him, and he even uses, like, the exact same lines on other women, which is really odd considering that has to be a 0% success rate. These can't be working well at all. It's so weird. So she decides to play ball here and open Pandora's box to see what comes out. She says, explain away. And he gives a brief, cool guy thing. Oh God, I just spent 60 minutes singing to seniors and man am I drained. But fuck it, I can do this. He's hyping himself up in the text messages he is sending to this girl. It is so embarrassing, and he keeps doing it. But it gets worse because right after that, he sends a voice message.
Hey, Kelsey, how's it going? Don't mind me, I fucking hate texting. I think we're all better without it, so I usually use one of these ones. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen a kid feel skin, but that's how I feel when texting. I could go on. Anyway, I just want you to know right off the bat, I fully accept how fucking weird this is. I'm sorry, but like I said, I think if you give me a second, you'll probably end up laughing. Not that you need my permission, but feel free to just laugh directly at me for being fucking idiot, for I am surely about to embarrass myself right now.
I do appreciate your stamp of approval. I and everyone else will be laughing directly at you for this, and I appreciate that you recognize what an unbelievably weird thing it is to do. I don't know why you keep doing it. This is the first of many voice messages he sends, even after recognizing this immutable fact that it is weird and embarrassing.
And sorry for the delay. I was going to get back to you, but I just someone called about a gig tomorrow. I was trying to make a position. Also, I'm not sure if I'm fucking funny anymore. I just spent 60 minutes, like I said, playing guitar and singing in a room full of senior citizens, but the room was stuffy and hot. I had to do it with a surgical mask on, and I'm not sure if I have any funny or social energy left, but I'm going to try to fake it right now. So thank you for your understanding and patience, and here goes nothing. I'm a fucking idiot. Enjoy.
He's actually treating this like it's some kind of movie audition. What are you talking about? I also I love that he immediately makes himself seem like super busy, like, hey, sorry for the delay, I know you were waiting on bated breath for my explanation, but I had to help very big musicians find a gig. You may have heard of them before, Bring Me the Horizon. I'm the lead singer. So I had a lot going on. I was double booked, so I had to give them a different band. You may have heard of them, Metallica. But anyway, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. I just finished one of my own gigs, in fact, so I'm a little drained, but don't be perturbed because I'm going to do my best to fake it. So stay tuned for part 2. It's coming right up. Yeah, like he's about to go through his stand-up comedy routine, which you don't want to miss.
I'm in the trenches of online dating for a couple of years, so I definitely know how to identify the kind of person like, if nothing else, the world would be better for your friends. So hear me out. First of all, I never fucking see that shrug emoji. No one else uses it. It's typed into my phone. If I type shrug with 2 G's, it just shows up. Same thing on my laptop. Like, I'll use it in work emails. Fuck it. So right away, I'm like, interesting. I don't get it, though. She's cute. For how pretty she is, she should be boring. Why does she seem kind of strange in a good way?
That's a spectacular start right there. I was like, she's kind of pretty, so why isn't she like a fucking lobotomite, boring dumbass? Like, she used an emoji that I really like. And she's pretty. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Pretty women can't have a personality, but you're, like, defying all of science right now. He just keeps going on about this fucking shrug emoji. He's talking about her bio on the dating site, and he just really fixates on that. That shrug emoji is like Cupid's arrow to this guy. He fell in love instantly when he saw it in her bio. I don't know why he thought it was a compliment to say that she's, like, strange and different in a good way because pretty women are, like, boring or whatever, insinuates that a pretty girl can't.
I have to get that anti-serum and start putting things
on. My job is actually music.
Some way to
Playing
reach
guitar
me
and singing. I do about 25
convince them to
shows
give
a
up
month.
this crusade for
I know it
revenge.
sounds made up, and I feel
They've
like
both
I
done so
invented
much
the
good
job
for
that's ridiculous,
They
but
can't
I'm very
throw their legacies
comfortable
away
life
just
is
to
good.
spite Norman.
I do play in a lot of retirement homes, and it's great for my self-esteem.
Okay,
Counts
Norman's
as
on his
I am
way
a
to get
big
the
hit with
anti-serum.
women over 80.
Time out. Technical foul here. He just dropped a redonkulous. He just said redonkulous. And then not only that, in his only second voice message here, he's already just calling her Kels. They're not even on, like, a first name basis. They're not Acquaintances? I mean, these are two complete strangers, and he's already giving her, like, a nickname.
Hey, sorry about that.
What the
What was I saying?
fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, just the night before, I've been talking to my best friend, Roxy.
There's a killer?
Just people that, like, bash you and they just write hey. So if someone writes
I'm
hey,
on my
I just
way to
write
find out.
and if someone
The lab
writes
is at
something,
10th and Cathedral.
Wait,
and, like,
I just got
people that
word
match
of a
me literally
helicopter
have
going
been
down in that
fucking,
area.
folks will match and be like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, come on, Chelsea. Like, yeah, you're kind of cute, but pretty sweet, try harder.
Why are you even talking about this? You're like trauma dumping on this complete stranger right now that you've tracked down from a dating app to try and communicate directly with because you didn't match with her. What the fuck is this? Now you're just going on about like, oh, dating apps are so weird. People just say like, hey. So then I'm like, hi. You don't know how to have a conversation. You didn't read the bio that I painstakingly typed up. I spent a long time on that bio and now I'm offended. It's ridiculous. Excuse me, redonkulous.
I don't know. It's just to see someone mention that in bio, I'm like, thank you. I can see you feel the same as me. Yeah, people, I always think that effort should match interest in dating. So if you're curious if someone's interested or not, remember that scene with Justin Long, what's her face in that movie about dating? Is it He's Just Not That Indian? And he's like, if the guy's interested, he will call. And I'm pretty goddamn sweet, and I am not that lonely or horny. I'm not going to take breadcrumbs from someone if I want to sandwich. So if someone hits me with a hey or hi, he can fuck yourself.
He's just sounding like a complete unhinged asshole here. It's not that deep. What do you mean they could just go fuck themselves? No one's even like, what does this have to do with anything in this situation? This isn't even flirting. This is just blurting. He's just blurting out all of the most nonsensical shit in his head right now to a complete stranger. And not only that, this is probably not even his first take. I bet he recorded this like 10 times until he had one that was like, this is the one. This was smooth. And that's what we got here. We got the final product. This isn't even like the first draft, I doubt. Which is, that's mind-blowing.
Damn it. This is where the Kelly Clarkson song comes in. Yeah, no, your bio is just, there was so much intentional effort put in, and honestly, the more I scrolled down on the pics, I'm like, this is not match up. I don't want to sound like an asshole, like, attractive people can also be interesting and funny, but it's just incredibly rare. I speak for myself, because I'd like to consider myself one of those.
That's the end of chapter 2 from the voice memos, but don't worry, there's still a finale, and it's the extended director's cut. The next one's over 5 minutes long. Also, pulls down in this whole like, yeah, you're like pretty, but you have a personality, which that just does not happen. I don't know why he thinks that that's some kind of like grand compliment. It's very odd. Now before playing the 5-minute, 30-second monologue here, he must have seen that she listened to it. He's like, gotcha! Yeah, I gotcha! Red-handed, you listened to it. Curiosity got the better of you. And then she says, dude, so you saw me on Bumble and found me on Facebook? How? Clearly very creeped out by it, understandably. And then he goes, oh, I honestly just typed in Kelsey and I guess I got lucky. I figured because you put live music we might have some friends in common or something. I blame Zuckerberg and then laughing emoji. Which contradicts everything that he said here because he's constantly talking and referencing her bio, which I think is referring to her dating profile bio. Especially because he does mention, like, online dating with A's and I's and shit. So I don't even know why he thought that would somehow save the situation. Like, she'd be fooled by it.
For the love of fuck. I was like 2 minutes into one, and it was awesome and funny, and I was so proud of it, and then someone called me again about a gig this evening, and it's like, you know that thing where your friends know you're busy or you're on a date or something, and that's when they decide to call? Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Chef's kiss. This is how you start a romantic message. For the love of fuck. I was in the middle of something spectacular. You were gonna love it, Kels. You were gonna love it. Trust me. But then one of my fucking asshole friends called me about a gig. Because I'm so busy being a successful live musician. Can you believe that, Kels? Can you believe that? It's like those things, you know, where like, we both go on dates, right? I go on dates. Clearly, you go on dates, and sometimes when you're just busy, people call, and it's Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, your bio was just the fucking bee's knees. I mean, listen, top 3 in like the hundreds or thousands I've seen, it was just, I don't know, I'm a very good judge of character, and you just seem like my kind of person. And I'm not saying we're star-crossed lovers, I don't know you, and you don't know me.
That's 100% correct. You don't know each other. Why are you doing this? This is not how you get to know someone. This is concerning. Also, you should never admit to seeing hundreds or thousands of dating profile bios. That makes you sound very desperate, that you spend all of your time on these dating apps, perusing it, cruising around, and if you don't match with someone you found attractive or interesting based on their bio, you go out of your way to find them elsewhere to try and talk to them, which is very scary behavior.
I fully accept how strange and unconventional this is. I got a vibe and I figured I gotta go with it. I was like in a really good mood that day. I don't know. I'm totally winging it. But yeah, a lot of my close friends are women, and everyone unfortunately has a couple stories of having to block someone's number or an ex just when leave them alone or go to the cops. Fuck, dude, I've had to block a few numbers of crazy people that they were crazy. So I really, really apologize sincerely if this in any way was bad or it was weird or whatever. Kelsey, that's the furthest thing from my intention. I just wanted to say howdy, and I figured if I talked like an idiot, you'd probably feel like I did.
It's so close. He's teetering on the edge of self-awareness. Him saying all of this out loud should have led to this eureka moment where he was overcome with immense shame. And he just presses the eject button and deletes the voice memo and doesn't continue this conversation. Like, he's clearly pointing out just how weird all this is. He's even going into all of his friends or women who, you know, have stories about having to block crazy people who didn't know they were crazy. Like, case in point, what you're doing here, but you keep trying to, like, make it seem like it's not weird, even though you do keep acknowledging how weird it is. So, like, you're fighting, like, a battle against yourself in your own messages. You are calling yourself out in front of the person that you're talking to as well. It's really weird.
Oh, okay. It's not fair. You've seen mine, or sorry, I've seen yours, and you have not seen mine. If you want, I will screenshot my Bumble bio. I'm quite proud of it. I think it's pretty fucking good. It represents me well. And what else would I want to know if I was you? Gee, I'm like 6 feet tall, pretty damn handsome. I'd give me like a 7. No, like a 7.5 out of 10 looks-wise. I mean, to my knowledge, no one has dated me for my abs or my hair. I'm guessing it's because I'm funny and honest and clearly very humble and go to therapy and emotionally intelligent.
It's not a job interview, bro. You don't need to be giving your resume here. Brother, just stop. Please, but goodness gracious.
7.5, even an 8. I'm feeling really fucking good lately. I got a tan. I'm up to like 80-second side planks. I hate them, but they're totally worth it for the core. And big feet. See what that means, big at all. Big socks.
I told you, I'm sorry.
You're scaring me. Scaring me.
Trying to help.
Why would you do that?
You don't help.
What? From way downtown here, he's throwing up a crazy jump shot. He immediately goes into, I've got big feet. You know what that means? Baby girl. Oh my lord, please, have mercy. Have mercy. Why?
What else? I feel like I didn't tell you enough about the bio too. That shrug emoji was just, if nothing else, the fact that like you look like a Disney princess and you use that, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta know. So, I was definitely getting strong Kirsten Bell vibes too, and she's awesome. I don't know if you listen to her husband's podcast, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. It's quite the reference, but I have a feeling you might know what that is. One of my favorite episodes, actually, is it Lauren Green who plays Lorelai? She was on there. Anyway,
Must be punished.
all over the fucking place.
You're also all over the place in this one-sided conversation. Now you're shouting out podcasts and talking about fucking shrug emoji again. It's hurting me listening to this. Let this be a lesson to everyone out there watching this. Just don't do anything even remotely like this. Never engage in a one-sided conversation where you have to be the one filling in blanks in a conversation that doesn't really exist.
But I'm sitting here, a middle-aged guy in his car with EDC on, SpongeBob shirt, and I would call this like the technological version of, you know, when like Noah stops Allie in the notebook, he's like, I have to talk to you when I see something I want. Yes, I just made a notebook reference. I don't know. I'm being a total idiot right now. So, if nothing else, I figured you'd have a laugh or a smile and you can fucking make fun of me and your friend. I don't know. I do a solo podcast for a guy that makes like $6,000 a month on a microphone being an idiot.
He was right. This is something that everyone can laugh about and have a big smile on their face, making fun of this whole situation. And then out of nowhere, he drops like his salary from his job, like the flex. He just like slides that in there, which I mean, it's an interesting strategy yet again. This guy's got a wild book of tricks.
I'm sorry, I don't normally bring up money, but I feel like I created my job out of thin air, and like I just submitted my 2022 taxes, and it's just been getting so much better the last few years, so I'm quite proud. That wasn't me trying to impress you with money. I've got way more impressive shit than that, and I just slipped out. I'm gonna be so impressed. Anyway,
Why leave it in there then? You saying that clearly made you uncomfortable. You could have just deleted this and just tried again. No, I don't think you should have tried again regardless. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. But you yourself just made yourself puke in your mouth when you said your $6,000 a month out loud like that as like a flex. And you still let it ride. You still let this Beyblade rip. Why?
you look like a goddamn Disney princess. The bio completely floored me. I felt like it was written by a friend or something. I just got like strong fellow, very divergent, super cool, gregarious, happy person vibes. And yeah, so listen, I'm an open book. You probably figured that out like 6 overshares ago. If you have any questions for me, please hit me. Don't be shy. If you want, I'll share my bio. I feel like it's unfair. You know, I've seen yours. You can see I'm quite proud of my bio.
This entire situation has been nothing but overshares from you. She's not going to ask you any questions. No sane person would. It's not going to happen. This whole thing was a complete catastrophe. And once again, hung up on this fucking bio thing. They're just bios. Most people write them in 10 seconds. I don't know how long he spent, like, finally crafting his, but that is not the norm. I'm sure she didn't spend days coming up with her bio on here. I don't know how it resonated so strongly with this guy, but I bet after this whole song and dance, the woman here immediately just deleted her whole account, or at the very least removed the bio entirely.
Yeah, for the 80th time, I apologize. It's just weird who like gave you anything. That's not my intention. Yeah, I gotta drive home now because I'm gonna go sing at Barnes Saga and it hurts to talk. So I'm sitting here in my car like a jackass. And yeah, I hope that all makes some kind of sense. And if nothing else, please take this sincere compliment. I've seen hundreds of shitty bios, probably thousands, and yours was easily top 3. The only reason I'm not you number 1 is because then it would seem like a lie. But I'm a very genuine, honest person, and yeah. Actually, on my way home, I'm going to go to the park and feed the ducks. My favorite's a couple different companies for plum bases. It just had babies a couple weeks ago. So like, I'll run up and recognize when the babies are squeaking. The hierarchy of like waterfowl feed babies, it goes swan babies, then ducklings, and then goslings. But yes, I may or may not do that 4 or 7 times a week. I'm a huge animal lover. Dogs are cats suck. So cats, I'm sure that's cool.
That was one of the most peculiar lies I've ever heard. You're going to stop at the park on the way home so you can visit your favorite swan couple, Mr. Plum and Mrs. Plumfette, because they just had babies a couple weeks ago, and they recognize you and get excited and start squeaking when you come by. Like you're part of the family, part of the crew, part of the ship. What universe? What the fuck? That's not even something Dr. Seuss would write as like a little goofy side plot in a story. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard for no reason. For no reason. The quirkiness is overloading. Like, the cup runneth over on quirk. Wow.
And yeah, take a comment. Anyway, apologies if this totally intruded on your day, opposite of attention, and yeah, your bio was fucking awesome. I mean, there's a couple other assets I noticed too, but I cannot mention them without sounding like a fuckboy, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm sure you've worked very hard to be in the shape you're in, but goddamn, I would not kick you out of bed for eating crackers. So I figured if you aren't half as funny as you seem to be and half as cool as I got in your bio, I would say happy. Yeah, alright, hope this made you laugh and smile, and a fantastical day. Cheers.
That's the grand finale of this whole situation, and what a journey it was. I find this to be probably the best example of the worst approach to romance imaginable. And like I said, this was not an isolated incident. He's done this before. And he's even used the same lines before. Which is it's so wild. It's so wild. I had to talk about it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
No way you can actually get this degree. It's true! This portable wireless speaker not only has clear treble, powerful bass, and stable connection, and it's really free. Where'd you buy it? On Temu. Now, you can download Temu through this video. We'll have the opportunity to get $20 per month to get this portable wireless.
Dating's pretty tough. I remember when I was a single man using Tinder, my go-to line was, "Do you like Brendan Fraser movies?" It worked to tremendous success. It was like a real-life cheat code for getting laid. But I understand not everyone's going to be as suave as I was. However, I'd argue nobody has less game than the guy I'm about to show you. This should lift your spirits. If you ever feel bad about yourself, like, damn, I suck at online dating, just know you'll never be as bad as this living, breathing organism I'm about to show you. For those that have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I've always enjoyed reading horrible flirting as well as just really disastrous, like, romance attempts online. I used to have a whole series going through Facebook flirting, which is where I learned about, bitch lasagna, ass in my asshole, baby. Things like that. I saw this on Reddit and I was smiling ear to ear. It is so bad. So this is where our journey begins. Now, again, this was posted to Reddit, so there's like a 90% chance it's fake. But god damn it, I'm going to suspend disbelief and just enjoy the ride. Now, of course, I'm not an expert here. Rick wouldn't call me into the shop on Pawn Stars to check the authenticity of this piece. But there are countless of very real examples with pathetic dudes that go just like this. So there is a good chance it's real. So these two have been talking for a little while, and my man comes in with the clown shoes and asks, "Are you on birth control?" I know it's a personal question, but kind of important to know. And then they say, "Okay, I'm canceling Wednesday." This could have gone better. This is suboptimal. This is a rough start right here. If it was a speed run, this would be a reset. This is about as bad as you could expect. He immediately ruined the date that they had planned by just immediately going full hog and just sending it. And from there was no recovering, and it gets real bad. He does not handle this super well. There was no grace or elegance. Oh, I'm kidding, dude, relax. He's just, it's just stand-up comedy, honestly. He's practicing his material. Why are you overreacting? I'm uncomfortable with these jokes. Okay, sorry, I'll stop, okay? No, I'm still canceling it. And now we get into his Joker arc. Well, that's really your loss for being so uptight, but okay, I'll just go to work and make $900 in 12 hours. Really? You're overreacting. Seriously? And you wonder why you're single? Yawn. Still waiting for your reply, lol. I actually had you double booked with another girl, so I'm kind of happy you decided to be a psycho. You sure you want to cancel it? This is a full roller coaster worth of emotion here. This man's hitting all 5 stages of denial within 6 text messages. This shit goes insano style quick. So let's break it down piece by piece. At first it's like, okay, you're missing out on a catch. I'm the perfect guy. I'm a real fucking man. Check my KD in Fortnite. I'm nuts. And you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to go make $900 in 12 hours at my job. Because I'm pulling fat racks. I've got stacks on stacks. Like, I'm kind of nutty. I'm one of the wealthiest men in the world, in fact. Then you can see panic start to set in when the money play didn't pan out. I'm guessing like 5 minutes had passed and he was already hyperventilating and breathing into a paper bag to calm himself down. So he tries to like put it on her like something's wrong with her. She's overreacting. Why are you just freaking out over nothing? It's like that scene in Airplane with that girl who's like afraid of flying. So they start like shaking her. Hey, get a hold of yourself. Go, get a hold of yourself. It was just a joke. So then he goes right into his bad boy mode. He puts on his sunglasses and trench coat and says, you know what, actually this is good for me. I double booked you with another girl. So the fact that you're psycho is helpful for me, because now I can just go to this other girl. And in fact, I was just trying to have like 10 girls to have sex with on the same day, and you were just one of the many. So it's not that big of a deal. But are you sure you want to cancel? Like, I'm totally telling the truth, but are you like sure you want to cancel? I love that attempt. It's like, I'm so desirable, actually. In fact, I totally forgot I already had another girl that I was going to fuck this day, so it's fine. And then has the audacity to call her a psycho. And I love the way that he says it, I double booked. This man has clearly never actually had a date in his life. It's like he's just penciling it in on a calendar, as if it's like part of his job. Now we make a transition into Act 3 here, into just full-blown neediness and scary obsession. Please call me, please, I'm at work, dude. Whoa, I know, I'm just being incredibly annoying to show you how most guys act. So maybe you'll realize I'm not that bad. So I'll see you Wednesday? That doesn't even make sense, you were fine until that joke. This is a Hail Mary. This man hatched the ultimate plan. So after he realized that by begging to be called back, it was a bit much, a rare moment of self-reflection, he's like, okay, yeah, it's a bit weird. So then he's like, how do I get out of this now? I've got it. I was actually just pretending to be needy and obsessed. It was called acting. I was actually just doing this to show you what most other simpletons do, not a sophisticated, nice guy like me. So I'll see you Wednesday, right? Sophisticated, nice guy like me. So I'll see you Wednesday, right? Dude, I was kidding with you. It's a joke. You do know I'm a doctor, right? My brain thinks at a much higher level than yours or the average person. It wasn't even sexual. It was a joke. And I said if you don't like those type of jokes, I won't joke like that anymore. This should be the end of it. You should be like, okay, cool. And then if I do it again, then you get pissed. Yeah, he's a doctor. Dr. Love, baby. This guy's good. This is real smooth. I have to imagine he's not actually a doctor. I mean, maybe fucking Dr. Evil, I have no clue. But regardless, I love that he's like, I actually just have such a galaxy brain, I'm thinking on a totally different level than you and all of these other plebeians. I'm just too fucking smart. That's my curse. That's the burden I bear. I'm too intelligent, which is why I made this joke. And the joke is a thinking man's joke. It's actually an anti-joke, in fact. You know how there's matter and antimatter? This is an anti-joke, and now I'm explaining it to you so you don't have the right to get mad about it. You see, you're just wrong for getting upset about it, and it's because I'm so much smarter than you. And I understand that it's not your fault for being fucking stupid, but just know that since I'm a doctor, I know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to joking. You off just get pissed right off the bat and be all rude to someone. That's a major turnoff, and just no. Yeah, she was the one being rude. He was nice enough to give you like a warning that she's canceling. She's like, hey, you're a fucking weirdo and I'm canceling. She could have just said nothing and not showed up on Wednesday, wasting your time by going there. And you just sit there all fucking soft cock in hand waiting and just not even getting a response. But she was nice enough to like cancel to your face. Like, that's far more than you deserved. Okay, so rant over. Are we cool now? Yeah, I think things are good now. I'm reading the room and it looks like he may have solved this problem here and fixed everything. You just talked shit to me. All I said was I'm canceling it. I didn't do what did talk shit to someone. What? Those are not coherent sentences. Of course I'm talking shit to you. You just flaked after I asked for that night off. Do you know how hard it is for me to get a night off work? Continuing further, let's just stop this childish nonsense. I'll see you Wednesday, right? This is that shit, don't take no for an answer, which I think is honestly the worst advice you could ever give someone. No is like the most important answer you should accept. By not accepting no's, you're just gonna go to jail at some point. Like, you're just asking for some kind of awful thing to happen to you. Like, no is an important thing to recognize and respect. And then they respond, you do not need to criticize my sentences. Change of mind and telling you about it doesn't really make it flaking. I was upfront. You said you already booked another date with someone else. Go enjoy it. I don't know why you're trying to with me, especially since you think so little of me already. Manziel, full-blown car salesman. Just meet me Wednesday. I'm sorry, okay? Just will not drop it. There is no chance she shows up on Wednesday. This is coming across like an actual serial killer now who's just scratching at his neck for his next victim. Like, he just cannot help but just keep saying, you're coming Wednesday. I know you are. You're going to meet me here Wednesday. Call me immediately. I'm at work. I'm not going to take the call. Okay, then we are meeting Wednesday, right? Are we cool? I feel like she might be talking to King Ghidorah here, just three separate heads all talking at once and all having different thoughts. One of them is just a fucking android that can only say Wednesday. One of them is just like a spiteful lunatic who thinks that there's some galaxy brain intellect that can't help but shit on her. And then one of them is just like a lobotomized zombie who just constantly just keeps asking, are we cool? Are we good now? It's wild, like the swings this guy goes through on these text messages here. Then he goes all in saying, look, my mom recently died, okay? So I'm kind of not really in the best place to be messed with. So if you can understand that would be great. Please, dude, please answer me. Can you please stop being immature and call me? Now, admittedly, she was being very immature about this whole situation by not understanding such level-headed remarks from a gentleman like this. It really was her being immature, clearly. And I also can't help but respect the actual Xbox Live tactic of saying his mom died. That is, unironically, 2005 Xbox Live shit right there. Like, your mom's a whore, mom's dead, and it's supposed to be like the checkmate. He actually tried it. It's like, oh, mom's dead, so now you have to excuse everything I've said, and you have to go on this date with me. I'll see you Wednesday, right? Come on, stop being immature. So yeah, anyway, that's where this story wraps up. Hopefully, if some of you are shitty at online dating, this will help you feel a little bit better and maybe help you improve in that respect in some way. Hopefully, none of you are as bad as this guy or anywhere close, but if you're just kind of, awkward and uncomfortable when it comes to conversations via text, maybe this will lift your spirits up a little bit, because you're probably not as bad as this guy. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. A few months ago, I watched what had to be one of the wildest encounters I've ever seen. This is a vigilante predator hunter group that was busting the person they were investigating in public. And this goes completely Insano style. It becomes cartoonish. It's almost like a Benny Hill chase scene here. I couldn't believe what was unfolding in front of me.
I am currently looking for my fiber.
Your what?
Fiber.
Fiber?
Well, 'cause I gotta poop.
You gonna poop?
I'm constipated. I've been constipated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting tactic. This is a high-level maneuver. He is claiming that he's not there at the meat spot for a 13-year-old boy. He's there to get some fiber so he can take a shit. He's been constipated, so he's there for some poop pills. And it doesn't take some galaxy brain genius to put together the puzzle pieces here, connect the dots, and deduce that he is on meth. He's getting loopy off that poopy right now. He is high on meth, which isn't just speculation. At the end of the video, they released their entire investigation, screenshots of all the text messages that were exchanged between this guy and who he thought was a 13-year-old, and meth comes up a lot, even right before meeting, meth was discussed, and as you can see in the title, he was arrested, and they did pretty much confirm meth was in his system.
Hey man, I can involve the police, or we can have a conversation. You want to have a conversation? You want to turn around and talk to me? Hey bro, I can call the cops right now, or we can just have a conversation.
I'm actually really constipated. Sir, can you actually let me get my supplements so I can actually go home so I can poop, and actually so I can poop well?
Step one should have been involving the authorities the second you found a real pedophile that was trying to meet up for sex with a 13-year-old and get them smoking meth or whatever. I don't understand why that wasn't the first thing you did. Luckily, there's spoilers in the title, so you know he does get arrested, but not for the reasons of this investigation. Some crazy shit happens towards the end. Had he involved law enforcement earlier, even from the start, I feel like this could have been far more effective. It seems like the first thing he did when he identified a real pedophile was try and figure out how to monetize it and make a viral video out of it or something. Because he gets 2 different cameras out. He's got the fucking Steadicam. He's got so many cameras set up. He's got the GTA cinematic angle going on here. So it really feels like the number one concern was trying to figure out a way to monetize it. He also has calls to action in the video to subscribe to his channel. He's got the People vs. Pred watermark. This shit is branded out at the wazoo. So it does really feel like the number one thing he was looking for here was a way of making money off of the bust, which is kind of weird. It is still good that this does lead to an arrest, but I really do wish it was handled with collaboration from the actual authorities.
Two amendments that
Come
violates.
find
Do you want me to
Come
call?
find fiber
Do you want me to call the cops?
Why would you want to call cops when I'm trying to find my
I know why you're here.
Why am I
To
here?
meet my 13-year-old little brother.
Who is that? I don't know who that is. Who is that? I have no clue.
Christ, where are they hiding the fiber pills in this bitch? Goodness gracious, are they underground? This man's out here trying to locate fiber pills, and it's trying to find pirates' buried treasure, apparently. But anyway, you can see he's really starting to tweak quite a bit now. Things are getting escalated. The man filming is threatening to call the cops, which is something I feel he should have done quite a long time ago. But we're only just beginning.
Hey buddy, is this you?
Hey, please.
Why do I have
let me.
a picture of you? Is this
Why are you doing this to me?
Is this you? Is this a picture of you? Why do I have a picture of you?
Oh, sis, what is this?
Why do I have a picture of you?
Oh my God, that's
Why do I have a picture? Why do I have a picture of your? This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for and to give him crystal meth. Oh my god!
Negotiations crumble, diplomacy falls, and then things really pop the fuck off. So he shows him that he has a picture of this guy's asshole, and then we enter like the DPS check of the raid boss encounter here. So now he's chasing the pedophile around while shouting, he's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for sex. The predator starts shouting. Everyone in the shopping center is confused and maybe even a little frightened from this sudden explosion of yelling and all of that. And we also get close-ups of the meth molester's head, and it seems like he has a lot of dandruff. Not that that has anything to do with anything at all, it just struck me as, wow, that's a lot of dandruff. So he might want to pick up a bottle of Head & Shoulders on his way back to the poopy pill aisle.
This guy right here is here to meet a 13-year-old boy and to give him crystal meth.
Okay, what's happening? I'm trying to find you. Do you know where the pills are?
Call it out. This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for... Don't touch me, sir. Don't touch me. Why? Stop. Don't touch me and don't put your hands in front of my camera, bro. Who the f*** are you? Stop.
The cameraman here is really coming across like a combative asshole. Obviously, the store employee doesn't know the situation. He's not fucking omniscient. All he sees is two people screaming in his store while one of them has multiple cameras set up like he's out here trying to film a 360-degree music video. So he's just trying to get in the middle of this and like, hey, can you de-escalate it? You know, take it anywhere else. And for some reason, the Predator Buster is now starting to get mad at this guy who's just doing his fucking job. Like, he's done nothing wrong. He doesn't know what's happening here. He's just trying to de-escalate the situation.
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for... Get in front of my camera again, bro. Because you're not... Get in front of my camera again. You don't have permission to film me camera. Who are you? Who are you? You mean to leave? Hey, buddy, get the f*** out of my way. Get the f*** out of my way. No, I don't. Call the cops.
This guy seems like he was closer to fighting the store employee just doing his job than he was to fighting the actual pedophile that he was there to bust. This shit is crazy.
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
What I do every day?
Then leave. Go home.
If you let me buy my fiber pills.
Oh, your fiber pills.
Where's the fiber?
Just when you thought it was starting to wrap itself up, this fucking guy goes back looking for fiber pills. He goes back to the fucking fiber pill aisle and keeps the whole song and dance going. We're in Act 2 now. It is incomprehensible the shit that is unfolding here. I can't believe that this actually is a real thing that happened and isn't some like staged, scripted fucking piece of, I don't know, fiction. It's unbelievable.
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Why are you here to harass me?
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
I tried my best to not be
I'm a weirdo? Why do I have a picture of this if I'm a weirdo? Why do I have a picture of his face? Look at it. Why do I have a picture of his face if I'm a weirdo?
Some of the other people around him start calling him a weirdo, the guy filming, to which he takes great offense. So he goes over to prove that he's not weird. So he goes and says, if I'm a weirdo, why do I have a picture of his asshole? Mate, regular old Saul Goodman over here defending himself. I can't be weird, I have a picture of his butthole right here, look at this. He takes his phone around like it's show and tell. He passes it around saying, hey, look, I'm not weird, look, this is his anus. I don't know what the strategy is there. He could have easily explained, I'm conducting an investigation, this guy was trying to meet up with my 13-year-old brother. That's a lot more easy to understand than like, hey, I'm not weird, this is this guy's ass. Like, I don't know what the thought process was. I think he was so lost in deep in fight mode that he was just trying to like get aggressive with everybody, even just completely innocent people that didn't understand what was happening.
To meet up a little kid. No!
I saw a comment that perfectly described how this part in the parking lot plays out. They said he's acting like he's the 13-year-old boy running away from a pedophile. And that is so accurate. He's running around, like, hysterically screaming and just going absolutely ballistic. He runs in a circle and then even lays on the ground for a little bit, kind of wiggling around. Can I just go poop?
You asked for it.
Ah!
Say goodnight.
Ah!
Oh my god, it gets even better! The pedophile is high on meth and operating a vehicle, and it goes about as you'd expect. He immediately peels out and fucking blasts himself, like, right over, like, a small little tree and some bushes. It really looked like it was about to take flight. That was some shit out of Need for Speed, honestly. Like, god damn. Oh my god!
Whoa! Hit and run! Call the police! Call the police!
Immediately after vaporizing a tree and destroying that like area of bushes, he peels out once again and manages to hit one of only two potential obstacles in the entire fucking parking lot. Someone else's car. He goes by and hits someone else's car. There is literally only two cars in this entire fucking parking lot. It is actually more impressive that he managed to hit something. Like, I don't even fathom how he could have fucked up even worse. It's unbelievable.
Just call the police, guys! I got the tag! Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! Call the cops, bro! I got the video! You don't need the video! Just call the cops! Check yourself!
I always hate that fucking mentality. Hey, someone else call the police. I'm busy recording. No. I'm recording, so someone else call the police to handle this. There's only a handful of situations where that makes any sense, and that's when there's already a large group there. Then having a video of the situation can be helpful to the overall thing. So you could have one person video while someone else is calling the authorities, but in this case it was just him for the entire thing right up until the very end. He should have been the one to call the police, but didn't. And the Predator makes another inexplicable decision. Instead of leaving, he instead pulls up to the front of the store he just ran away screaming from and parks it. He just drops that shit right in front of the store he just left, and then gets out to try and run back into the store, which I don't understand at all. He's treating it like this was some kind of safe zone or something. And as he gets out of the car and tries to run back in the store, he gets tackled by a good Samaritan who had just seen the hit and run and everything that unfolded in the parking lot. So he gets tackled by that guy, and it's like a Goldberg spear. That is a great form textbook tackle. And then the cops do show up to arrest him.
Captain, the area is secure and the cells are all empty.
Officially, I can't condone that. Unofficially, thanks.
Oh, man. The cops go through his things. They find a pipe. They find a lot of stuff. They arrest him for the driving, DUI. They don't seem super interested in the predator catcher's investigation and what he's talking about. They don't really pay too much attention to that. Instead, they arrest him for, of course, the way he was driving the vehicle. Now, I've mentioned this numerous times over the years. I'm not really a fan of vigilante predator hunters for the simple reason that 9 times out of 10, the pedophiles that get caught in these operations don't face any real repercussions other than like a video being made about them. But law enforcement can't use the investigations because they're less than professional, meaning the predator doesn't spend any time in the slammer, they don't go to jail, which allows them to continue preying on children in their communities. Now, I do think there are extenuating circumstances, like, for example, EDP. EDP may have not gone to jail, but that video that was made about him by the, fucking Gotham Knights and Predator Catchers did a great service to the whole community because it exposed him for abusing his platform, trying to meet up with children, and even if he didn't go to jail, it still took away his access to more potential victims. So overall, it was a positive thing, though ideal outcome would have been him also going to jail. In this case, the video we just watched, this predator probably would have never went to jail had he not operated the vehicle while high on meth and caused a massive commotion there and hitting multiple things. Had he not been driving that recklessly and high, he probably would have never seen any jail time for the investigation conducted by his channel. So it's just one of those things where, yes, it is good to expose the predators, but I really wish it was handled in collaboration with law enforcement, so that way not only would they be exposed publicly, they would also face the jail time associated with the crime. But yeah, anyway, this video was wild, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit today. That's about it. See ya. I don't understand what's going on in the world right now, because there is a cheating scandal in every single sport, every game, every hobby in the entire world, all happening at once. This is like something out of the Bible, the signal of doomsday or an apocalypse. Today we're going to be talking about a Call of Duty cheating scandal, but not so much the cheating itself, more so how one YouTuber took a huge L trying to suckle a drop of clout out of the situation by posting an embarrassing video about it. I'm not a huge fan of Call of Duty. I haven't been a fan of Call of Duty in a while, but I am a big fan of clowns. And yesterday these two worlds collided when Doug Censor Martin made his exposed video on Nadia, a person who's been accused of cheating for a while now. Doug kind of hyped himself up as the authority to bring down judgment once and for all and bring the truth to light. He dusted off the monocle and got to the bottom of this case like Scooby-Doo and the gang to solve the mystery here. But unfortunately, he posted turbo cringe on main. And as a result, the entire community's been dunking on him and he's caught more shit than a latrine. It would have been less reputationally damaging if he posted his own sex tape on his channel. It would have been a lot less embarrassing. Now let me just go ahead and break down the situation here to bring you all up to speed, since I'm sure a lot of you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Right now there's a massive Call of Duty streamer named Nadia. She mainly plays Warzone, Rebirth Island, and she's massive. And she's had a ton of cheating allegations against her for quite a long time now. A lot of people analyzing and going over very suspicious and odd moments from her streams, as well as some peculiar things that have popped up in terms of like aim locking and tracking and shit like that. As well as recently she went to a LAN tournament and didn't perform super well. She went like 4-15 in one of the bigger matches. So people were confused on why she plays so well at home, where she's dropping like 50 bombs, absolutely spanking people, versus on LAN where she goes and just doesn't do super well. So there's just been a lot of videos breaking down and analyzing suspicious moments from her streams and explaining that there's a chance she's cheating, though nothing's 100% proven as of right now. But it is a very peculiar situation, one that I'm not super familiar with, so one that I'm not going to opine on heavily, but that's the gist of it in a nutshell. And Doug Censor Martin stepped into the spotlight to try and be the authority on whether or not she truly is cheating. And this backfired on his character. So yeah, I'm not really here to talk too much about the possible cheating itself. I'm just here to laugh at this awful video Doug made. Even if it's confirmed Nadia's cheating, like right now, if she goes live and just admits, I'm a cheater, here's the proof, I would still say Doug Censor Martin took the bigger L in this situation. Also, he really hyped the shit out of this for days, like on Twitter and everything, making very bold posts about the impact this video is going to have and how he was taking it so seriously and researching it thoroughly. And man, that aged terribly. Right away, you can tell the vibe he's going for is douchey, over-the-top goofiness here, but it conflicts with the tone he set prior to its release, talking about how seriously he was taking it in the investigation that he was conducting, only to release this little circus video. So immediately people were pretty turned off just from the intro alone.
Detective, what are you smoking? fine from that.
The comedic stylings of Doug. I bet you have to pick yourself up off the floor after laughing so hard and falling out of your chair. That's a side-splitting humor you can expect to find from Doug here. No doubt this man's going places. He's probably going to start writing jokes for Amy Schumer next. I mean, this is just good stuff. This bit drags on for a very long time here, and I have no doubt that it's this long just for the sake of padding the video length, because the video is 8 minutes and 3 seconds. So I feel like he just front-loaded it with this trash in the intro to make sure that it reaches 8 minutes for the mid-roll ads, because I have no other explanation for why it goes on for as long as it does. I'll spare you the next like 45 seconds of this shit and just get to the part where he starts talking, but I do want to at least mention that last night I was talking about this on stream and Doug was watching and he took it like a champ, so good on you, Doug, for being able to roll with criticism, but this is a video that should have just stayed as a bad idea in your head. You should have never posted it.
The people that were locked up are heading back to their homes.
Good. And I finally convinced the mayor's office that making constituents homeless was not good for his poll numbers, so they won't be pulling that stunt again.
What you're listening to is dope, no doubt. But have you ever listened with a Corona? That's the fine life's jet. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Big, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
For once, we got a clean win.
Well, not quite.
What's going on, guys? Doug Sexton Martin here. Hope you guys are having a great day.
This is really a masterclass in how to make people dislike you within the first minute of a video. He just speedran unlikability. I really love the thought process behind this video here. I'll just crank out some pull-ups before getting into it. That'll make them think I'm cool. Flex on them a little bit. Hey, what's up, nerds? It's me, Doug. What, did I forget to give you a wedgie today? No, I'm just kidding. I'm the likable douchebag who plays video games. You know, what a Sigma male.
And today I bring you guys a brand new video giving you all the truth about Nadia. So if you guys don't know who Nadia is, she's a 22-year-old Warzone player. She streams every single day on Twitch TV. So I've been putting in about 8 to 10 hour days, 7 days a week to Vanguard rank to be the #1 ranked player on the planet. And with that comes a sacrifice. And sometimes, like I said, you lose your mind. Sometimes you play against cheaters, and they really are inevitable. There's not really too much you can do about it.
The first minute and a half is just actual nothing burgers. This man is a restaurant that's serving up buns and nothing inside of it. It is absolute worthlessness. It's him patting his ego for a bit, I guess giving like a background on himself. He's like, oh, you know, at first I looked at Nadia, I wasn't suspicious, but then everyone else was, so now I'm suspicious. And here's my resume. And then he talks about how he spends so much time grinding Call of Duty Vanguard ranked, which sounds like a fate worse than death. And then he finally starts getting into something that's even remotely related to the topic.
This girl really got people hooked. So I'm clicking the video and I'm watching it, and they're slowing everything down, slow motion. They're showing how her aim trash from one person to another. They're showing a bunch of these different clips of these characters moving like magnets and her aim snaps on them. And just being a guy who's been around competitive Call of Duty for as long as I have and seeing as many things as I've seen, this is no news to me. I've seen stuff like this so many times before. And my brain just started to think, and I'm like, let me look a little bit more into Nadia.
We are 4 minutes and 33 seconds into this video, and he has still done absolutely fucking nothing. Silence would have been more productive than everything he's said so far. If he had spread his own asshole like Goatsy for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, I feel like I would have got more information out of that than what I've watched so far. We are over halfway done with the video, and he has done and said nothing.
I thought acting was my passion, but now it's still gaming. I do love it.
So when she said this live, I was actually in my hot tub watching because I'm playing with Jake and I like him. Let me watch this video, let me see who this girl is and what she's all about. And when I saw that and I heard that, everything really started to fit to me.
This is his first of only 3 loose points. I can't even call them actual points because he doesn't even make any arguments against Nadia or to prove she's cheating. Because this, what he's showing, everything he shows here isn't evidence. He just pulls up random TikTok clips of her talking about acting. He doesn't even go into like the actual cheating allegations. He just talks about her being bad at acting for some reason. Like that's what he like focuses on. That's the smoking gun. Ah, so she's bad at acting. Probably a cheater as well then. I was super let down by this video, as I'm sure everyone else was, because he had put so much hype behind it, talking about how thorough and how serious this video was going to be. And I'm a little goblin that's drawn to internet drama like a moth to a flame. So I was finally going to get caught up to speed on some fresh drama that I wasn't super familiar with, and I thought Doug would be the one to deliver all of the information as well as pretty impressive evidence on a video. But he didn't do any of that. Instead, he released this stinker and then has claimed it was all just an elaborate troll, which to me just sounds like desperation and cope. Like, no, this video actually was a troll from the start. But even if that is the case, it's still poorly done. It's still bad. The video itself isn't entertaining. Even as like a satirical piece or a joke, it's just not good no matter how you spin it.
It's simple. I just hack into the Call of Duty servers, so there's a playlist that gets me only low KD lobbies. Reread QA bot, turn me up chat. Turn me up, turn me up. Oh my god, turn me up.
You clearly tell this is some bad acting, and not for nothing. This whole
turn me up, turn me up.
Can we please, I don't care who started this. Can we leave this in 2022? Just somebody come up with something new and creative. Anything. But the whole
turn me up, yeah.
This buffoon's over here mauling over 3 words. It's not that deep. It's not a big deal. And also, what does it have to do with anything about the cheating accusations you're supposed to be tackling? So Nadia really leans into all the cheating stuff and treats it like a meme and a joke. So she'll be very sarcastic with it, talk about how she's like cheating sarcastically and shit like that. And Doug is critiquing her acting about it and being upset that she says, turn me up. I just don't even get what he's trying to say here. Maybe it's too galaxy brain for me to comprehend. I just can't wrap my little reptile brain around it. It just seems like he finds her annoying, so he's just calling her annoying, like a child would.
You could go down a rabbit hole just searching this girl's name. But there's one thing that really stands out.
I picked Black Ops 1 Black Ops 2.
Yeah, you don't need to hug me. I get
So,
it.
Dolphin.
Yeah, what is dolphin diving? How do I do it?
Okay, so Nadia, check this out. I know you work out and you're in good shape. This is going to be dolphin.
Have you lost Medicaid or CHIP? At healthcare.gov, 4 out of 5 customers can find a quality plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll in a plan today at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All jokes aside, this video is about showing the truth of Nadia.
All jokes aside, what jokes? All 0 of them that you've told so far? This is so embarrassing, Doug. The fact that you not only made this, but you edited it and posted it shamelessly and hyped it up, you could have at least made a point out of this. Like, Nadia claims she's very familiar with Call of Duty and Black Ops in particular. How would she be unfamiliar with the term dolphin diving? That was a very standard term used in Black Ops by everyone. It'd be very surprising if she'd never heard of dolphin diving despite playing so much Black Ops. But you didn't even begin to, like, broach that subject. Instead, you took this and made an absolute nothing sandwich out of it again. Like, I just don't understand the motivation behind this video, like what the purpose was, other than to just siphon a few views out of the topic. Because everyone is talking about this Nadia cheating allegation situation, and perhaps Doug felt a little left outside, alone, cold in the rain, and he said, hey guys, I want to come inside where it's warm and get in on this view party as well. So then he threw this piece of shit together.
All jokes aside, this video is about showing the truth of Nadia, and somehow the internet over the last few days has really turned this and converted this into me exposing Nadia for her cheats and having clear-cut evidence of her cheats. So I do want to clarify this really quickly. My buddy made a program to catch Vanguard cheaters on the rank play system. I made that very clear. I've also told Nadia publicly multiple times that I don't care about her. My video is going to be unbiased. I don't need her. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking for money. Don't need any of that stuff.
This man just spit out more garbage than a landfill. I don't even know where to start. We'll just go from the beginning. He starts blaming the internet as if people got it all twisted and got it fucked up. Oh, you've misconstrued it. You know, the internet's bastardized and perverted my point. They think that I had evidence against Nadia and this and that. I don't even know where they got the idea from. Doug, they got it from you. For days you were talking about how you have all of this proof of cheaters and cheaters are a bad thing and insinuating that you've got stuff on Nadia. And like, you put that idea in everyone's head. They got that information and that idea directly from your mouth. So I don't know why you're trying to spin it like, oh, you guys, you went wild with these crazy ideas, none of which I influenced at all. I didn't do any of that. You guys are just weird to think that I had this evidence or any real proof against Nadia. Like, it blows my mind. that you've tried to now blame people for getting it wrong because you have absolutely nothing. He then shouts out his friend's anti-cheating program, which he mentioned a few times in the beginning of the video, but I felt it was completely irrelevant to the topic, which was proving Nadia was cheating or talking about it or submitting evidence, none of which he does and none of which his friend's program helped with or did anything with. So it has no purpose in the video other than like a hashtag ad, I suppose. I don't really know. And then he goes into the biggest lie I've heard in a minute. This is a straight cap from top to bottom. How he's not doing this for clout or attention or anything. That's all this was. Oh, here, I'll make this weird fucking video. Like, you did all of this for clout, 100%. There's no other motivation here. I guess you can fall back on the defense mechanism of calling it a troll, but even still, it's done poorly. So if the goal was to troll people, you did it at the expense of your own reputation and the goodwill from the community that you still had left over. So the joke at the end of the day is on you. So the real only purpose to the video was just views, which you got because this is more viewed than your recent uploads. But I just don't see why you do it when it comes at such a high price to your image. There's really nothing in this video. This video is like 99% you just working out or flexing and talking about nothing. You don't even really mention Nadia's cheating allegations or provide any evidence. You provide legitimately no evidence. You don't make any points. You just don't talk about anything in the video. There's just nothing of substance here. So there's only one conclusion to draw. That you did this whole song and dance, you made this video for clout. I can't play the music from here because of the MCA, but he concludes the video by parking his jet ski, walking up on the dock, and pretending to propose to Nadia. It is so fucking embarrassing. Everyone with eyes was sad to see this. It is painful.